Well, I simply don't care how cool the car looks with the roof down, Mr. Raccoon. It's bloody raining, for God's sake. I mean, bloody hell, right? Okay, I was absolute swine. Why the hell didn't you put the bloody roof up? Oh, hello, everybody. It's Megalithic here, otherwise known as Puglo Escobar. And in today's video, we are over here at the Maze Bank offices because we intend to purchase ourselves a vehicle. So let's go on inside then, shall we? Okay, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we begin, of course, I must warn you, don't speak to my secretary. She was late to work this morning because she was out all night clubbing, you know. Clubbing seals, actually, as it happens, you know. Absolutely shocking, really. Oh, thank you for those seal slippers, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. Either way, my ladies and gentlemen, right, okay, what do you do, Mr. Raccoon? Yes, I'm just going to sit in my chair. Sodding raccoons take my bloody chair. Right, you sodding, well, nowhere, Mr. Bloody Raccoon. Absolute wretched swine. Okay, well, we're both here, ladies and gentlemen, because we both intend to purchase ourselves a vehicle today, and on this occasion, we're going to be taking a look at the Obey 9F and the Obey 9F Cabrio. Okay, now here they are, ladies and gentlemen. Can be found on the legendary motorsport website, as you know, you can see we are here, and they are all the way towards the bottom of the page, ladies and gentlemen, because the vehicles that we're talking about are rather cheap vehicles. You know, they can be pulled off the street, don't you know? But we're going to give them a review anyway. So we're looking at the Obey there and the Obey 9F Cabrio. So it's the 9F and the 9F Cabrio retailing for $120,000 or $130,000. 120 for the 9F and 130 for the 9F Cabrio. So you can see that, yes, 120,000. So very, very cheap, very small fry for today's video, but interesting all the same. And so here we go. And we are going to head on up there, ladies and gentlemen, in the Ocelot Pariah, don't you know? Now, this is a very fine car, about $1.5 million in that sort of ballpark. Certainly worth the money, in our opinion. A very, very rapid car. Some people uphold it to be the fastest car. We disagree, you know. Oops, right, okay, skipped ahead there. Okay, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to head on inside into the Maze Bank Hall. We're going to head into the Hillcrest Garage, and there we go. Okay, so this is the Obey 9F, ladies and gentlemen. And what do you think? You know, I mean, in my opinion, it's sort of more serious than a coughing fit in a room full of sleeping tigers, you know. It has sort of got a very serious and mean look to it there. Sort of like a baby supercar, really, ladies and gentlemen. It's not got all the flair, but it's certainly trying now, isn't it? Okay, now, presumably, ladies and gentlemen, the Obey 9F, the Obey 9F Cabrio are based on the Audi R8, although there is a touch of the TT, as Mr. Raccoon likes to point out about this vehicle. And I've got to say, I think he is right, you know. Okay, so this is a sort of combined review, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to focus more heavily on the 9F, but we'll have a look at the 9F Cabrio as well, so off we go. Okay, so what can one say, ladies and gentlemen, you know, about the 9F? Like I say, it's a very, very cheap car, but I mean, in terms of acceleration, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, much like the German army in World War II, you know, it's surprisingly quick to set off, you know. In terms of handling, ladies and gentlemen, you see coming down the hills there, I mean, the back end is more likely to swing and kick out than a drunken gypsy in a bar fight. That's the simple truth of it, you know. And we're going to go down there. And in terms of top-end speed, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's faster than a French floozy fumbles your phallus, you know. Okay, so we're going to have a look at that acceleration there, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to check out the stability as well. So in a straight line, whoops, this is right, okay, having some sodding hell, car pulling in front of them. There we go. Okay, sort of scup at the stability test. Let's give it another go, shall we? So you can see, yes, it's not too bad, not too good in a straight line, you know, so there we go, we are sort of losing it. The back end, ladies and gentlemen, is the worst thing on this particular vehicle, you know. We are sort of moving those, you can see, sodding hell, another car. How bloody fast was he going to get in front of me? Okay, so what can one say, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, the acceleration is pretty good for the money, it has to be pointed out. Top end speed, again, for the money is pretty good. The handling, ladies and gentlemen, is where this car goes horribly wrong, you know. Like I said, that back end is extremely wayward, it really is, ladies and gentlemen. And the traction, you know, it's sort of in the corners, ladies and gentlemen, straight line, not too bad in the corners. The traction is absolutely ruddy awful. Now, oops, it is okay, Mr. Raccoon, rather eager to get in front of me there. Okay, well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have brought the vehicles round back to the Maze Bank offices, you know, and we're going to send them on inside into the custom auto shop and go ahead with the necessary modifications. Okay, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are indeed, as doubtlessly you can see, inside the custom auto auto shop presently. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we will be going through this section of the video at double speed just in order to hurry things along somewhat, but still to provide you, the viewer, with the opportunity of having a look at the different modifications that can be affected to this vehicle should you then choose to go ahead and purchase it, normally, ladies and gentlemen, we do go ahead and cut out some more of the performance-related modifications in terms of sort of engine tuning, suspension, transmission, turbo, and that kind of business, ladies and gentlemen. However, there are scant few modifications, as one may well expect, ladies and gentlemen. No real criticism here, one must appreciate. This is a very, very cheap car at $120,000, ladies and gentlemen, so one wouldn't expect a great deal of modifications. However, it does have to be pointed out there are scant few, including, I think, a very limited choice in terms of spoiler, ladies and gentlemen. Only not a two-tone color, I don't believe. Could be wrong. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, scant few options, as I say. We go two-tone color, so you can do the side panel as well. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so that is the modifications completed. Thankfully, we are now going to take the vehicle back onto the street and perform the standard lap. So this is two modified. These are now two 9Fs, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't got the Cabrio right now. We've got the 9F, and my goodness, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. For a cheap car, ladies and gentlemen, that thing sets off. It launches off like a V2 rocket to London. It's as simple as that. It's absolutely rapid, In terms of top-end speed, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it moves quicker than a European colonizer and an inhabited landmass. And the handling, as you can see there, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, really, like I said, the back end, ladies and gentlemen, that's the problem. I mean, the back end's more unstable than Kanye West and Shia LaBeouf in a bar fight. So yes, what can one say? That's pretty much it, really, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's surprise sodding hell. Saw that car coming an absolute bloody mile off. Couldn't do anything to avoid hitting it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, acceleration for the money, surprisingly quick. For the top end speed, ladies and gentlemen, for the money, surprisingly quick. Handling, ladies and gentlemen, for the money. Yes, not particularly. Whoops, a sodding raccoon, right? Okay, rammed me quite deliberately there, didn't you? Absolutely wretched swine. You might well giggle about that, Mr. Evan. I'm not at all impressed. Okay, we're going to send it on. Whoops, you've got to watch out, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, this car is prone to going airborne, we did discover. Can't seem to keep it on the ground. I had the car for 30 minutes, launched it in the air 3 times. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to send it on to a top speed test track. Now we have got the 9F and the 9F Cabrio, ladies and gentlemen, so we are going to see what they can do. So we've got the OB9F, the OB9F Cabrio, ladies and gentlemen, heading on down the top speed test track now, just to give you an indication what we consider to be a competitive time in order to make it down the straight, it's about 53-54 seconds. So 53-54 seconds, what we consider a competitive time. Let's see what the 9F Cabrio can do, or the 9F can do, I should say. Okay, so the 9F, ladies and gentlemen, can do 55.267, ladies and gentlemen, and the Cabrio was about 55.550. Okay, but they are rather beautiful looking cars, I mean, it's sort of more stylish than an adulterous Italian aristocrat, in my opinion, in both, you can see more of the R8, ladies and gentlemen, I believe in Mr. Raccoon points out. I do agree with him. Okay, in the Cabrio, I should say. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The first test, of course, is what's the difference between the 9F and the 9F Cabrio when it comes right down to it. And it actually, ladies and gentlemen, is the whole reason why we balled these two cars in together into the same video, haven't done a separate video on them. Effectively, ladies and gentlemen, there is no difference. They are identical cars in terms of performance, as far as we were able to establish in terms of top-end speed, as you've just seen, handling, acceleration, all across the board, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. They're pretty much identical cars. Just the only difference is for an extra $10,000, your roof can come down and sometimes the car can go up. Like I say, can't keep the sodding thing on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. Either way, we do the test time and time again, and always they often come much closer to the station. They are basically identical vehicles. So the 9F and the 9F Cabrio, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much the same car. Okay, in fact, identical, that's the truth of it. Okay, so we're going to move on now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start at the bottom. This is the Fister Comet, retailing for $100,000 only. So we're going to have a look at a few cheaper cars, and then we're going to have a look at a few more expensive cars and see exactly what the 9F can do. Okay, it is that handling, ladies and gentlemen. I am, sorry to report that really does let this particular car down, but it's not going to be enough, ladies and gentlemen. It's simply not going to be enough to, detract, stop it from beating the pants off the Comet. Comet there. So yes, the Comet goes down, ladies and gentlemen, to the 9F, and there we go. So the next vehicle we're going to bring out, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a Garrote, don't you know? I do rather favour the Garrote myself. And this particular vehicle is the Carbonizer. Now this is nearly $200,000, $195,000, ladies and gentlemen. It's got a much better acceleration than the 9F, as you can see there, ladies and gentlemen, getting to the top of the track and then the cornering. If we can get right in any kind of order, there we go. Okay, and it's going to be coming down the back now. It's going to be really a test, ladies and gentlemen. See who's got the better top speed, and it would turn out it looks like the Garrote, ladies and gentlemen, now doesn't it? Okay, so yes, we are going to claw a little bit back there as we come around the corner, but we are definitely behind it. So the Carbonizer, ladies and gentlemen, takes down the 9F. Okay, now we're going to bring out the Elegy, don't you know? This is the Anis, the RH Elegy, RH8 Elegy, something along those lines, ladies and gentlemen. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, it's the free Elegy, don't you know? You can pull it off, you can get it for free if you go and join the Rockstar Social Club, and we do recommend you do that. It's a very fine car for free, you know. I'm also going to take this opportunity to point out all of the other vehicles are being driven by Mr. Raccoon, you know. He has a channel of his own. His name is the Bromby. The channel is called the Bromby. If you type that into YouTube, then you should be able to go and find him. They've got some rather good videos on there, don't you know? He's going to start doing reviews of his own, in fact, in the near future. Okay, well, there we go. The Elegy, ladies and gentlemen, damn a good car, but it actually loses to the 9F, and that really is rather interesting. Okay, well, here we are now, ladies and gentlemen. We are jumping up from the price range rather significantly now, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Emperor ETR1, retailing for effectively $2 million. It's about 1.95, something like that, ladies and gentlemen. Shockingly expensive car, ladies and gentlemen. And we're currently putting up a vehicle up against it that's $120,000. And what are you seeing, ladies and gentlemen? That's right, the same thing as with the Serrano. $120,000 is taking down a $2 million supercar, ladies and gentlemen. And that's pretty much why the whole purpose of doing this video, you know, just to show you that this 9F really is rather interesting. Okay, but it's absolutely certainly not bulletproof by any stretch of the imagination. This is the Bravado Banshee, the Bravado Banshee 900R, don't you know, ladies and gentlemen, with the modification, taking it up to about $670,000, I do believe. It's a very fine car, ladies and gentlemen. Handling's a little bit iffy, but my God, it's fast, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And although the Obey 9F, ladies and gentlemen, can indeed take down the $2 million ETR1, yes, it's certainly not capable of touching the Bravado Banshee 900R there. So okay, rather interesting. Or rather not, depends what you think. I don't care, you know. The next vehicle we're going to bring out, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the Morgan, at my insistence. You know, Mr. Raccoon asked me, he said, well, what the bloody hell are you pulling out the Morgan for? I said, well, I think it may stand a chance. He said, it's not going to stand a certain chance. I said, pull out the bloody Morgan, God's sake, Mr. Raccoon. And then I really deeply regret it, ladies and gentlemen, because by the time I get to the top of the track, yes, he's already, he's absolutely miles away and he's going to disappear. It made me look an absolute fool, ladies and gentlemen, an absolute bloody fool. But then again, I am a pug dog, you know, so I don't care. It's as simple as that. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, the overflowed Morgan retailing for $2,165,000 demolishes the 9F, and perhaps we shouldn't be surprised. Okay, so the next vehicle we're going to be bringing out, it's going to be a Pegassi, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, at my insistence, it's the Reaper, $1,595,000. You know, I thought, well, there we go, got a flying start on it there, ladies and gentlemen. But then Mr. Raccoon did point out the fact that it is, in fact, a supercar and it's going to have significantly more top-end speed. And I thought, well, you know, maybe get in the corner and whatnot, but I forgot how what a sodding awful car this is to get around the corner. And yes, there we go. But having said that, ladies and gentlemen, we are sort of clawing it back. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are sort of sat on the tail of the, my goodness, right, okay, we really are sort of catching the Reaper. Okay, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go, sat alongside the Reaper almost, pretty much as we come across the line there, and that really is rather interesting. Okay, so we're going to start to wrap things up, and that's actually, ladies and gentlemen, where we got an inkling for the potential of the 9F. You know, we put it up against the benefactor Serrano. That's what this vehicle is, for those of you who do not know. For the uninitiated, the hose at home, as I like to say, you know. Retailing for $110,000 is a very, very fine car, and when we were testing it, I think we put the 9F up against it, and they crossed the line pretty much neck and neck, you know, which, and the Serrano being a competitive vehicle, there we go, coming alongside, sort of there, whoops, and we were swapping paint there, ladies and gentlemen. I said, oh, it did knock off a bit of Mr. Raccoon's speed there, was a bit off there, but yes, effectively, ladies and gentlemen, these cars are pretty much equally matched, and there we go, that's rather interesting. Okay, so just to give you an idea of how good it is, we're now going to bring it on to Big Daddy Z, don't you know. This is the Pegassi Zentorno, retailing for $725,000. It is a very, very fine car, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, it's absolutely disappearing into the distance there, because it is, in fact, a very fine supercar. However, when we get to the corner there, ladies and gentlemen, I hit a tree. Okay, don't often do that, I can assure you. Yeah, so we'll try that again one more time, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Getting around the corner there, and you can see the Bugatti Zentorno is actually sat behind us, ladies and gentlemen. So the OB9F actually taking the Zentorno in the corner there, ladies and gentlemen. The Zentorno is actually having to claw, ladies and gentlemen, desperately to try to claw to get the win, and I'm sure you'll agree that, ladies and gentlemen, sort of goes to show how good the OB9F there is. There is, of course, only one more question left now, ladies and gentlemen, and that question is, and will be for the time being, the Grotti Italia RS6. And there's going to be no question, ladies and gentlemen, tries it might to beat the Zentorno, you know, it didn't succeed, and so there's not a hope in hell it's going to be able to take down the Grotti Italia RS6. So what can we say, you know? I mean, in terms of looks, ladies and gentlemen, it's cooler than a snowboarding Yeti now, isn't it? Let's be quite frank about these things. In terms of acceleration, ladies and gentlemen, this thing's faster to get started than the Nuremberg war crime trials, you know. In terms of top-end speed, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it moves faster than a rap star fleeing a paternity test, you know. And in terms of handling, ladies and gentlemen, well, it's got all the handling of a monkey in a motorboat, you know. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what can we say? Okay, difference between the 9F and the 9F Cabrio, pretty much no difference whatsoever. They're identical cars. Is the vehicle worth it? Well, actually, for $120,000, $130,000, yes, it is, you know. Sodding hell, bloody raccoon. Cheap cars, ladies and gentlemen, but they are worth it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching.